training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. On first down, Carr. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now they'll run it on a toss. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Hey, Raider 2. Go, Chief.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And this is going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowl corner, Marcus Peters, there to make the play.
The first time I saw Marcus Peters was in a practice session when he was at the University of Washington. I literally was watching someone else, and my eyes kept going to him. I thought he played the corner position with extreme intelligence, even as an undergrad there.
What year was that?
It would have been his sophomore year at Washington, and he's carried over those same playmaking skills to the NFL, and we just saw him knock one away.
Goff will lead the Rams up here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down. Well, partner, Gurley came on the scene in 2015 NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's been all systems go from game 1.
And they talked about easing him into the lineup, and that's really what they did. But once they got him in, they couldn't get him out. They had to feed him the ball more and more, and it's because of these types of runs. He just breaks defenses down with his power and his physicality.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Hey, Super 1.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he's going to be met at about the 43. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. He's letting it fly for Cooks. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware of ball making.
And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Down. We're waiting.
From the gun, it's Carr. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Aaron Donald in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. Here now, Johnny Townsend as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Well, we turn our attention to the Rams here as the offense comes out. So many positive vibes around this club entering 2018. Their 3rd season back in L.A., a new stadium on the way. And coming off of last year, Charles, and you said this to me in the car on the way over, it's going to be interesting to see what this year brings.
That's because they will actually be the team that's hunted now, and they haven't been that for a long time, meaning they're sitting on top of the NFC West. Many people think they might be the team to beat in the NFC overall, even with the Eagles and the Vikings staring at them. So explosive on offense last year. Defense kept getting better. And in the offseason, the defense added cornerback Marcus Peters, added defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh, both Pro Bowlers. They think that they're ready right now to challenge for a Super Bowl, and they intend to go for it.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here's Johnny Hekker now, standing just outside his own goal line. With it is Brown. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now here come the Raiders. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Forced out to his left. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Down. We're waiting.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A strong running. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16.
Monday, down. 180. Hey, 734.
To throw his car. And that is incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. That is caught by Williams. Touchdown, Raiders. Tyrell Williams, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And that makes it 7-zip Oakland. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball, and when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys, no more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
And credit the tackle to Cliff Averill.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
First carry for Doug Martin, the 2-time Pro Bowler in Tampa. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down.
White.
Now a play fake. Carr throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Ready.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Here's Gurley. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
Well, not a huge game there as we head towards the 2-minute warning. It'll be interesting to me to see what they decide to do after the timeout.
The Rams on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. The Rams on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Goff now looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now Brown. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field. Yeah,
just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
We got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. On play action, now Carr. Over the middle here to Brown. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. John Gruden's return to the sideline going swimmingly thus far as his Raiders have the lead and another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Now, that was kind of interesting. It appears this coaching staff really trusts this rookie early in his career. They want to get him a touchdown here in his NFL debut.
Here's Carr to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On third down, it's Jacobs. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Raiders add on to their lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Shifts by him. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So we've reached halftime here in Oakland with the Raiders on top. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
76, tell him. 76.
To throw on 2nd down is gone. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Carr will try it again on 2nd down. Out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
Goff will lead the Rams up here first and 10 at the 33-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. Now Goff on first down. And the Raiders have got him.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Back to throw, Goff. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Looking for Woods that time, and it'll bring up 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings them up 2nd and 10.
Down! You waiting?
Throwing again. Carr. And that is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
The Raiders on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Time to establish the run game here early. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Goff. And it'll be intercepted. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now they'll run it on the toss. A 3-yard gain and enough for the 1st down. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
A pair of 1st downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Carr. He's airing it out for Williams. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Cover 0. 694. White.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Aaron Donald in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
Raider 1.
Carr. And Brown's got it for an Oakland touchdown. Antonio Brown, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. So now Carr, he'll lead the Raiders up to go for 2.
We're good. Rush it. Down. Blue 80.
From the gun, it's Carr. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right?
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Out of the gun. Gone. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Reynolds. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. 3rd and long. It's gone. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Able to find a seam for 14 yards, but still now facing a 4th down after the scramble.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
And it is incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example. And now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
734.
Carr now on 1st down. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Dante Fowler. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. After the interception, here's Goff. Throw complete right side to Cooks. Able to make one man miss, but he will be corralled around the 10-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
He's going to air it out deep for Woods. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Rams on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Goff. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. Woods, the intended receiver.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And it coughed it up. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the...
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Benson Mayowa in there to get him for a loss of 5. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Like 20. Go. Check. Louis.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe... Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
7:34.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now a play fake. Carr. And the pressure gets to him again.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
185. Check. 7:34. 6:18.
Here's Carr. Looking deep downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
185. Hey, let's get some penetration here.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And now running right through it. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Go, go. Get set, get set. 694. Hey, 734.
To throw, it's Carr. Man open left side is Brown. Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. Give him 18 yards on that one. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture as now they've got a 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Throwing now is Carr, escaping the pressure right. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Akeem Talib. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Oakland,